Hello, Cancer North Node. Welcome to your reading for the spring equinox. That is March 20th, and it will be valid, or the messages will apply to 3 months after that as well. So March 20th to June 20th, 2023. Do note that these are general readings, so not all of the messages will apply to you. So just take what resonates and leave the rest for whoever else in your Cancer North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you are enjoying this reading, you can press like, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel so that I may better connect to your energies, and click the bell to be notified when I upload. This is a North Node reading. I do not read for any other placement. So if you are not 100% sure where your North Node is located, do click the link in the description box, which will lead you to a North Node chart on my website, where you can look up your birthday and see where the North Node was at that date. What else do you need to know? Well, these readings this time around for the spring equinox have to do with emerging from the void, grounding, transformation, bringing that which is in the shadow into the light, and how to integrate that knowledge into your day-to-day living moving forward. So I will do that using a spread that was given to me by my guides. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and I will give you a little rundown of the different sections of this reading. They will also all be timestamped in the description box below for your convenience. So we start with the universal energies. On the outside, these are the big overarching energies that are affecting your life at this time, or that are on offer to you to work with at this time. Then we have the 5D, and in the 5D, this is your higher self, your future self, and what they would like you to take notice of and work with in the next 3 months for your expansion. Then we're looking at the 3D, what is going on in your physical reality that is showing up as opportunities for that expansion. And we'll ask then how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. What strategies can you use to navigate that gap at this time? Then in this reading, which is all about grounding, I will pull 4 cards at the end to give you strategies or tips for how to ground your recent transformation into your physical reality and integrate that into your new way of walking through the world. And then we'll come to the final oracles, and then that will be it. So we should be here together for about an hour. And let me think if there is anything else you need to know. I do personal readings. That link is in the description box. And I am doing a little fundraising for a new mic. This one is hit or miss. So I do a lot of editing in the post-production in order to make sure that you can hear me well. So I'm looking to upgrade that equipment. And that link is also in the description box. So now that all of the public announcements are over, I will start shuffling for your universal energies, Cancer North Node. I've already meditated on your cards and got a couple messages coming in. Let me just get these first 4 cards out, and then we'll talk about what came out in the pre-shuffle. There we go. I feel like there's one more that wants to come out. Okay. So in your overarching energies, we have encoded, red native, consciousness, joyous, and Egyptian eagle. Okay, so what came out in the pre-shuffle, and then I'll get into this. In the pre-shuffle, I saw the number 5 and the number 15, and imagery that indicated to me routines and habits, acting on intuition. And then there was a card that flew out while I was pre-shuffling, and it was card number 15, deep emotions, unknown feelings, and past life influences. So what I'm seeing here in your universal energies is that there is you are in the midst of, or something has already awoken inside of you that comes from, like, it's deeply encoded in your DNA. And it is activated, it has been activated in divine timing, let's say. And I need to read side native. So with red native, you have the potential and have been prepared to dive into the collective consciousness or pull information from the collective consciousness, deep-seated wisdom, forgotten knowledge, bringing to the surface. So there is the energy of sharing what your thoughts, feelings, and emotions with the world, and contribute your ideas and your energy into the collective consciousness. And besides the collective consciousness, you are expanding your own consciousness and understanding of the world, in that this can be quite a disorienting feeling, because you're understanding yourself and your environment with a new awareness, with a new understanding, limiting beliefs falling away. And all of this can lead to joyous and Egyptian eagle, a very happy transformation, and opening your life looking very different on a day-to-day than it has in the past, and quite a widespread transformation of your life. You do have the choice of how joyously you can move through this transformation. We have the colors of the heart chakra here, pink and green. A heart expansion and more heart-focused living is on the horizon for you. And I can see here as well that this is what this is all very positive, especially the end here. And they would like you to go through the movements positively, with a positive outlook that everything is working out in your favor, because this is what I'm seeing. Everything is working out in your favor. It is simply Are you going to acknowledge the role that you can play and the depth of your new understanding, the depth of your gifts as well, because this to me is indicating that you have a gift opening up, a gift has opened up, and now it's kind of grounding itself into, as this whole reading is about, grounding itself into your being so that you can use it for other people, for the good of everybody, and they would hope that you would embrace this in a joyous manner and not be stressed out by it. I'm going to go to your 5D now and see what they would like you to focus on. I'm going to take all of these. Presence, grace, freedom, integration. I think they want me to change how those cards are laid out because they all came out together. So let's see though. Okay, I think we're done now. So I'm going to go backwards. That's Merkaba. Just figuring this out because I had, let me see. There's one more that has to come out. I'm sure these, okay, in time. How do you want these laid? Presence, grace, freedom. No, they want it like that. Crown chakra. I've never had so many cards. Okay, I have to feel into this and find out what's going on. Okay, I had to sit with it a bit and have a little discussion about how to set that up. It seems to be right now. They always say to me, all roads lead to Rome, but yeah. Okay, so higher self, future self. You have, how many cards do you have here? 4, 6, 9 cards. They wanted me to count them for some reason. And so what I'm getting from the top row, I'll hold them up for you. And I read in that direction. So we have presence, grace, freedom, and integration. You're being asked to be fully present in your life. So be here for it, be there for it, not wishing that things were somehow different, not waiting for when something will happen in the future, not spending your present energy daydreaming too much about what will happen in the future. Visualization is great, but the place where you have the most influence is now, right? Your actions are always grounded in now. And for you to take the right or the most efficient and effective actions for yourself, you have to be present and living in the now. Grace, I always have to read the grace card. It's like a concept that I can meditate on for a lifetime. So the frequency of grace supports our smooth adaptation and anticipation of life currents and changes as we evolve towards a higher version of ourselves on this earthly plane, bridging the divine with the human essence. Yes. So I'm getting that they want you to also, as much as they want you to participate and also observe and allow and be receptive to how things are moving in your life, meaning don't grasp for control of every situation and outcome. Allow yourself to be led into new pastures, new relationships, new day-to-day living, which is, remember, that came out in my pre-shuffle and meditation before the reading. So there's things in your day-to-day that have to change. There are forces at play that are helping to steer you into that new flow, into alignment, into better habits that support a better and bigger picture for you. Your job is to not fight it. And to anytime you feel triggered, I'm feeling this is probably stuff that's going to come in the next round of cards as well. And if you feel triggered, to step back and see a bigger picture. We have freedom. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression and bold exploration. It's time for you to try some new things, and just if they don't work for you, then try something else, right? It's about you recognizing that some of the lack of freedom that you have is because of an internal, emotional, psychological boundary, a limitation that you've set on yourself, on your experience. And so they're giving me the example of when you know that if you do or act a certain way, that someone else will react in a certain way. Can you even make room for the possibility that their reaction will be different, especially if it's something that you are, suppressing, not doing, that is really something that you love or makes you feel joy or is really your authentic self, and you're forcing yourself to fit into a box? Can you be your expansive self and either let there be a possibility that the person will react not in the way you expect, or B, they do act exactly the way you expect and you just don't care, right? Because you know that you're doing something that is positive, well-intentioned, and expansive. Then we have integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Yeah. This goes further to the freedom card. Are you really giving yourself the freedom to be yourself, or are you placing the blame on others for putting restrictions on you, right? And because they're saying as well, often the things that we believe others are judging us on are things that we are judging ourselves about. So with the crown chakra, the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. You will be doing this a lot over the next 3 months, if not the whole year, right? Is finding the positive in the negative, turning the negative into positive. And this is part of what they want you to understand, that you have the choice on how you will receive, here coming by the joyous card, on how you will receive the changes that are coming, the changes that are happening in your life and around you. And it will be a time for you to integrate your divine self into your 3D and to live that more openly and with more confidence, that's for sure. With Merkaba, the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse to other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experience into our present to serve our highest purpose. So there's a lot of releasing going to happen. That is not just from this lifetime, but from past lifetimes. And I do have that for a lot of you Cancer North nodes out there, what you are stepping into this lifetime, you have not necessarily done in this lifetime, but you have done something like it before. And they say something like it. It's not anything one-to-one correlation, like you were a teacher then and you'll be a teacher now. It's more that this stage of transformation is something you've done before. It's a hurdle that it's a challenge that you have done before. And there's something for you also, if you do any past life work, it's something that you can ask to access the strength and courage. Those cards came out as well when I was doing a pre-shuffle. Change, strength, courage, ascension, right? To muster the courage to continue. And they're drawing me to the next two cards, heart chakra and intuition. The frequency of heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the body, the mind and body. And then intuition, the energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond three-dimensional reality. So to ease, not just to ease, but like this is part of what you should be learning, mastering, embracing, and embracing the fact that you may be very shaky in this area at this time. Heart chakra, following your heart. So following your heart and following your intuition. Because neither will steer you wrong if you can trust them. But we have to work with them in order to trust them. With building a relationship between the heart and the mind and our ego as well. So that our ego is like, yeah, I can trust this impulse. I can trust this nagging feeling. And like they're saying to me that sometimes we think we followed our heart and it was a mistake, but often the heart leads us in the right direction. But our intuition is also speaking to us, right? One cannot override the other. And when, for example, there's so much love that we are blind to, someone taking advantage of us for whatever reason, our intuition has not failed. It has been speaking, but we are not listening. Right? Because what happens, the ego gets caught up in the feeling of euphoria and validation and all other types of stuff. And so the lesson there is the heart doesn't necessarily steer you wrong, but how you manage the day-to-day ins and outs of certain relationships and situations is not only the heart's domain, right? The intuition for understanding what vibrations and energies are around you, what people's intentions are, that cannot go off your radar simply because you're working from the portal of the heart, right? We have to use other tools as well to navigate the physical realm. And then we have time. The energy of time supports our understanding of the relativity of time and our capacity to be present in the moment. So it all circles back to being present and not only being in this headspace of what we want, what we desire, how we want situations to work out. Often people act, so they're bringing this to me as well. Often people act or react in ways so that they can reach a desired outcome. And this is something that your higher self would like you to make efforts to let go of so that you can make better decisions in the moment. And that can lead you to new possibilities, completely new possibilities. I'm going to go to your 3D. You're meant to experience things that you've never experienced before in life and that you also never imagined yourself to be doing. And in order to do that, you need to let go of what you think should happen. And that's not to give up on dreams, but you may need to be flexible on how those dreams will manifest. So in your 3D, we have Temperance in reverse, the 9 of Swords, Page of Cups. I like that placement there. And the 2 of Swords. And I think there's another one here. There we go. And the Star in reverse. Okay, so this is what's showing up in your physical reality as opportunities for expansion. So if you are working with your psychic gifts, your intuition, your divine connection, your connection to magic and mysteries, I feel confusion. I feel great confusion. And that a word that came out? Yeah, disorienting, confusion. You may feel left alone as well on this journey. There may be times where you find it difficult to connect with whatever intuition, higher dimension, higher vibration you may have in the past found it easy to connect to, or you've at least had, I have this feeling that you've at least had a couple of experiences that were really profound, like really awesome and very, it made a good impression on you, and I'm feeling wanting to get back to that place, but not being able to get back to that place in either in the intensity or the purity is the word they're giving me, the purity or the intensity that you felt it. Let's say it was in a group meditation, for example, or you went on a hike and had a profound moment in nature. There is some struggle with connecting. And this can very well cause anguish, overthinking, frustration, what's wrong with me, self-critique, doubt. What other words are coming to mind? They're giving me pessimism as well. So some of you may be going like really to this is never going to work out for me. When is this going to happen? In time. right? In due time. The confusion seems to be something that you have to go through because it's about building the trust as well. The Page of Cups, for example, in this position by the heart chakra, and there are going to be times when in the next 3 months that you feel like your rational mind cannot make the decision for you. If you go with your rational mind, you'll be going around in circles. However, I feel for a lot of you Cancer North nodes, Capricorn South node, Capricorn, a very practical sign with well thought out strategies, and Cancer not being that, that you may struggle to use your heart as a decision-making mechanism. But I see that they're pointing me to the word on this card. I'm just going to see what it says. Serpentarius. Oh, there's a snake there. Yeah, Serpentarius. And so you may want to look up Serpentarius. I feel you also grappling with your instincts, because your heart instincts are opening. And it's about not fighting them, but harnessing them. Harnessing your instincts will be a big theme for you in the coming year, in the next 3 months, particularly. With the Two of Swords and the Star in reverse, I feel that your own doubt of yourself is what will hold you back in the next 3 months. This can be you encountering situations where you are called to shine, but your own mind is keeping yourself small. So this is going to be a challenge for you in the next 3 months. It's mostly a mental, you have 2 major arcana, 2 swords, and a cup. So I see major mental challenges and the challenge of how to navigate your intuition and your expanded consciousness. I'm going to ask how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. How can Cancer North Node bridge the 3D and the 5D? There. Ooh. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands, 7 of Pentacles in reverse, the 10 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. With the Ace of Wands, so once again, this is your advice of how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. You need to just start trying new things. New habits, new routines, new shampoo, new, if you put cream in your coffee, put cashew milk instead. If you drink coffee in the mornings, change it to green tea. You usually bathe in the morning, try bathing at night. Like, you just need to shake up your routine, period. If only for the energy of the willingness to do things differently and making room for life, the divine, your guides, to show you new ways of doing things. So, and do it with a spirit, with a light-hearted spirit of fun and discovery. You do not need to figure everything out right now, right? The universe wants you to make room and just keep teaching yourself that there are different ways of doing things and there are different possibilities open, different potentials. You need to free yourself from your routine bit by bit. They're even showing me someone taking the train or the subway like at a different time than they usually would. Obviously, if you have to be somewhere at a certain time, you won't go take a later train. You'll take maybe an earlier one, right? But they're showing me someone taking an earlier trip to wherever they go to work and then spending that extra, I guess maybe it's half hour, walking or being in nature, something like this. Just an example, right? There are many, 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 many ways. There are more ways than we can count that we can switch up our routine. Even what you choose to do in the first 15 minutes after you wake up, right? Or even 5 minutes after you wake up. What you choose to do in those 5 minutes, you can change easily. A lot of us just jump out of bed and run into life. What would happen if you spent 5 minutes doing affirmations of how great your day is going to be, or how open you're going to be to new stuff coming into your life, right? New opportunities, new people, new experiences, new perspectives. So, yeah, be willing to change the game. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I feel with this, because 7 of Pentacles for me is all about, like, you've planted seeds and you're watching them grow. See what is going to sprout, what is evolving, what is harvesting. What can you harvest and what needs to be, what is not evolving as it should or as you would like. 7 of Pentacles in reverse for me is like, let's not, and this is also 7. The crown is 7. And the star is 17. So we got some numerical synchronicities there. They want you to understand that some of the seeds that have been planted by your higher self in collaboration with the divine, with source, with whichever power you connect with. And that you don't need to watch everything so closely. Because some of these things that have been planted have a longer trajectory than your mind is set for. And also, when you expect things to grow in a certain way, you are reducing the ability, you're confining it, right? It's like when you bind a plant in a certain way so that it grows in a certain direction, right? This is what they want you to let go of altogether, because you're thinking too small. And they want to make room for it to be more. So release your grasp on, I've planted this and I want this. I've planted this seed and I want this seed to turn into this type of plant or to bear this type of fruit. They're saying right now that some of the seeds you have planted were like cuckoo seeds. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why they have certain words. But anyway, like, cuckoo birds laid their eggs in nests, and like what's the word? They're invasive. They're kind of an invasive species, and they disguise themselves. But when they come out, they're big and they're bold and they're hungry and they demand a lot of energy and attention. This is kind of where your seeds are right now, but it's not invasive in a bad way. It's the divine put some extra sprinkles on it, and it's going to transform in a way that you did not anticipate. So they need you to get out of the way in the most loving way possible, and that's just by also being present, having fun, and witnessing your transformation and participating in your transformation. Life is going to change soon enough, is also what they're telling me. Life is going to change soon enough. And you want to be present for this in between, because it's a super magical period of time. The Ten of Swords, things that you thought were laid to rest are still not laid to rest. You do need to actively start telling your story in a different way, or stop telling certain stories. As you do have this red native in the corner here, and we're going to get to that. Actually, I'm going to go straight there. I feel that you are to share as an act of self-love to yourself, processing all of this in a productive way. I know some of you may say, I don't want to write. I never thought myself to be a writer. And I most certainly don't want to share like my biggest heartaches with the world. Yeah, they're not really down with that. They would like you to share it, but first and foremost with yourself, as an act of self-love for yourself. As an act of love for yourself, yes. And that processing will turn into something that you should feel eventually comfortable with sharing. But the Two of Cups, I'm also getting that you need to share what's troubling you, all of your doubts, all of your fears, all of the upset, feelings of unworthiness, feelings of not being good enough. The reality is you are not the only one, Cancer North Node, who feels like that or has felt like that. And by writing songs, poetry, doing talks, having a social media channel where you do little 1 minute introspective videos. You don't have to show your face. You don't even have to use your voice, right? You can type it and have the voice read it for you. But those type of things where your opinions, your life experience is shared with the masses, with the collective, is important. You have your unique way of experiencing the world as a tool of the divine. It is part of what the divine put in you, let's say, in order to serve a purpose, to serve its purpose, for you to serve your higher purpose as well. There is sharing your heart is part of your higher purpose. How it is shared is almost, I'm not going to say for all of you, as I said, take it as it resonates. Some of you, all that matters in this lifetime is that you share what's on your heart. That is all that matters. How it happens, up for grabs, right? Freedom, grace, let the change come in, plant the seeds, see what happens, right? But from a place of joyful transformation, I'm pointing to this joy card in the corner. And joyful transformation, also has to do with you being aware of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and being willing to share that and release that. And you specifically, Cancer North Node, they want you to share it with others. I'm going to do your grounding cards now. So this is how to ground your transformation into your physical reality. We have the 5 of Fire, Three of Water, the Counselor, which is the Knight of Water, or Knight of Cups, however you want to understand it. And we have 11, Healing, and we also have the Ace of Fire again. So at the bottom of the deck we have Body, Mind, but I will focus on the cards that we have here. So your grounding strategies, grounding your transformation. In the 5 of Fire, I see pick your battles wisely. Really, just not everyone's going to understand where you're going and what you're meant to do. A lot of people will not, right? And they want you to also understand that when you are approached with confrontation, challenge, conflict externally, you very likely still have a part of yourself internally that does not jive, that's not in alignment, right? That is questioning, that is doubting, that is criticizing, that wants to stay in a comfort zone. Embrace this individual inside of yourself, and you'll have an easier time out in public with others as well. Do not ask people to validate or accept what you're doing or where you're heading or how you live. I feel this to be very internal, right? You need to integrate your inner critic. Integrate your inner critic. I think I've said this before to you, Cancer North Node, or I said it for another North Node sign, but integrating your inner critic is very powerful because then your inner critic can work for you instead of against you, right? So show that inner critic love. I mean, you can still tell it to, buzz off in a very loving way, right? But it's also, you can just find better way to say it, like, thanks for making me aware of, doubts and risks and some of our more hidden emotions. We're going to move forward with this in the full knowing that those, aspects exist. We're going to move forward, and we're going to be great. Everything is going to work out in our favor, right? So you soothe it, you love it, you hug it, you give it some light, and you keep it moving, right? And so that's your first way of grounding this transformation. Do embrace your inner critic. 3 of water. Embrace the people that are in your life. Do embrace the people that are in your life. Let some flow in, let some flow out, but at all times be grateful for the roles that other people play in your life. Do your best not to neglect your bonds, your friendships, or anyone that has expressed like a positive feeling towards you and who wants to keep in touch with you. Take that with a grain of salt, right? You don't have to like everyone in return who likes you and is drawn to you. There is something very powerful, though, about no one being a burden to you, right? They all play a role, and you can decide how much contact you have with them or not, right? Just be aware that there are people in your life who have very positive impressions and intentions towards you. And even if you're busy doing this Ace of Wands energy, one of the things that you should do is call people, email them, let them know that you appreciate them, even by keeping in touch with them, just by reaching out and saying, hey, how are you? Phone calls are great, WhatsApp calls, whatever, right? It will mean more to people around you than you know, right? So be willing to share in the present moment, share joy in present moments, and embrace people in your life of all ages, of all generations. That is grounding tip number 2. Grounding tip number 3, the counselor. I know that you don't, well, some of you may not want to hear this, but yeah, you got to get your heart and your emotions need to be expressed through your conscious mind. So it's not enough to meditate and let it come up and say, oh, I release. Great. It's a great thing as well, but this is not you. Talking, writing, communicating, all of that you feel. Also, like your intuitive worldview is important to share and getting. Fine, not everyone's going to agree with you. Some of you may hesitate to speak openly or communicate some of your worldview openly because the internet can be an aggressive place. When people are hiding behind screens, they can be nasty. So, but turn off the comments. My comments are turned off, right? For a number of reasons. But do whatever makes you feel comfortable, but do get the emotions out. Like, if if getting your emotions out is uncomfortable, try to make it in as most comfortable a container as possible. You know, you could even, they're showing me someone like joining a group where there's a message board and answering questions on, lending opinions on spirituality, on life, on raising children, on cooking, on, everything in life has its spiritual aspects. So don't think that you only have to write about, your spiritual journey. It could be any part of your life that has meaning for you, right? Emotions, open, talking about them, communicating them, grounding them into this reality. That is tip number 3. And so tip 4, we have healing and Ace of Fire. I have, that hurt my chest a little bit. On top of just trying new things in your routine, grounding your, doing things in nature. Trying different types of magic, trying different rituals, trying different spiritual practices. Some of you have like a real, well, we all have diversity in our ancestry, and you also have many lifetimes where you were different ethnicities, different races, different religions, different genders, right? So it's up to you to try out some different ways of connecting to magic, intuition, and the natural world. So some practices will be more grounded, like in this card, in nature, right? Herbs, elemental beings, the elements, animals, right? But others would be more, not directly based in nature, for example. I do have here, though, that actually I'm really feeling that they want you to find more ways to specifically try out ways to connect to nature. You should be connecting with nature regularly and do some very specific exploration as to how you can connect with nature, right? Walks, swimming, sitting by a river, stargazing, watching, plant gazing as well. They gave me stargazing as well, but they say it's a little bit outside of the realm of what they're trying to point you to. They would like it to, like, they're literally saying, like, grounded into the soil. Like, they want it to be earth magic, earth-based, working with the energies of the earth. They're saying because some of you are already very, let's say, crown chakra connected, so you're very connected. You have nothing here about, like, the lowest chakra that you have on the table is the heart chakra. So pulling this, all of this divine energy, all of this high vibrational energy, connecting it to the ley lines and to the earth itself, it'll be very important for you. You want me to hold these 2 cards together? Yes. Be very important for you to ground all of this energy into the natural world. Because it's important that you really begin to understand yourself and embrace yourself as part of the natural world. That will make you feel less disoriented on this journey, in this transformation. And it will help you achieve more clarity. It's basically, it's a step in your mastery of your skills as well. To have very clear grounding practices. So grounding tip number 4, do practice your grounding practices and try out new things. We are going to your final oracles now. So it took a little longer than I expected, but that always happens, especially when you're the first. At the first reading of the day, it takes me a while to sharpen up my sentences. So what do we have here? Ooh, final oracles, number 10, sacred breath and sound, life force communication. I'm just going to read from the guidebook for these. I'm going to pull, should I read from the guidebook first? Yeah. I'm going to pull from another deck as well, but they want me to read from the guidebook first for this one. Okay. This priestess of the breath of life brings the light of the dolphin to you. This important totem has long been a symbol of the life force embodied in breath, movement, and sound. This card is telling you to bring the dolphin's easy flowing pattern to the breath of your life force at this time. Healing is available to you now on both the physical and personal levels. Deep breathing can relieve stress, initiate and accelerate healing, and raise the resonant vibration of your ki, or life force. So if there's a physical issue or personal pattern you want to resolve, spend some time in deep breathing and meditation and let yourself feel the fluid, peaceful influence it brings to your body and your life. Another sacred energy heralded by this card is the resonance of sound. Dolphins have a special way of communicating, sending out clicks and responding to their reverberations. This card is calling your attention to how you communicate with yourself and others. The aqua blue colors on the card reinforce the importance of this message, vibrating with the energy of the 5th or throat chakra. It's your soul's directive to honor your self-expression. If you find it difficult to speak up, start by venting your difficult feelings in your journal. This healing process leads to a greater courage of expression in the future. It's time to share your feelings, voice your requests, and honor your right to speak out. Take a deep breath and practice communicating openly with others. The resonance of your breath and sound will soon move you forward with the freedom, fluidity, and sparkling joy of the dolphin's magical energy. And the affirmation is, I breathe deeply and express myself. My sound and my breath are sacred to me. Oh, they want you to share, Cancer North Node. So we're going to take an inner peace card now. Inner peace for Cancer North Node. Inner peace. Okay. You are the truth seeker, awakening, actualizing, transcending. How can you invite more grace to guide you? Oh, grace. You see, you can study the word grace, meditate on it for lifetimes. So let me read from the guidebook for this one as well. You're stepping into a new chapter of your life, which may feel like a whole new reality. This is a testament to the inner work you've been doing. You are transforming at your core. You are in the process of transmuting your pain and suffering and can now see its purpose. You are on a path of greater understanding, leading you toward your divine truth. As you awaken to a higher vision of you, illusions, miscommunication, self-sabotage, and pain no longer resonate. You are healing your heart, and in this process you awaken to your core truth. Only you know what is best for you. Use discernment in this phase. Trust your inner guide and align with what feels right for you at a soul level. Just like the woman in this image, your transformation can feel like descending a rabbit hole of new knowledge and life truths. The more you learn, the more you awaken. The more you free yourself from the confines of the past, the more you discover. And with this, the more you feel the free fall. But with each new step, you emerge to a higher vibration and frequency, past all illusions separating you from the truth, which is love. Embrace this time. It is a sacred journey into your own heart. And there's a divine assignment. If you feel as if this new reality is not yet here, worry not. This card reminds you that you are awakening right now, and self-actualization will set you free. Keep doing the work, discovering new truths and following your heart's pull. Your transcendence is transforming you. You have learned, seen, experienced, and grown too much to go back. Welcome to the real you. Relax into your new awareness, for your soul has been craving this arrival. Enjoy the transformation and awakening. Yep, that's it. All right. I'm going to pull just two little small starseed cards. I said two? Okay, two. I was going to pull one, but I guess we're going to do two. Observation. Expand your consciousness by observing the divine matrix of life. Yes, be present. Be very, very present. And choice. By staying conscious in your thoughts, you guide your journey in the direction of your choice. I will leave that there with you, Cancer North Node. I do hope that this reading resonated with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if it did. And yeah, we are all in this together. I do wish you all the best for your journey and for this new astrological year. Take care, Cancer North Node, and we'll see each other again. Be well and stay blessed. Bye for now.